Good Friday evening, everyone. I'm CBS19 Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony here with our newest meteorologist, Joel Robinson. Welcome to the team, Joel.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. Hi, East Texas.
For folks who don't know where Joel is from, you are coming to us from?
From Southeast Michigan, of all places.
And just graduated college?
From the University of Oklahoma.
All right.
I'm in rival territory. I'm definitely aware of that.
Texas fans, don't hold that against them. All right, so Joel, this is Brett's beach ball forecast for Friday night. And during the summertime, I do the forecast for, eventually we'll get there, but we go through a bunch of graphics to get there. But eventually we're going to talk about beach destinations within about a 6 to 8 hours drive of East Texas. So we know a lot of folks go to Galveston, down to Port Aransas, maybe all the way down to South Padre Island, and then as far east as Destin and Panama Beach. So that's what we're going to do.
Cool.
But first, as we know, we've got kind of an active Sunday night headed our way.
We sure do.
So I thought we'd talk about that with future Skycast.
Yes.
Do you want to take the reins and drive the iPad there and talk about it?
Wow, I have so much power here. Wow, okay. All right, so we do have the potential for a large complex of thunderstorms to arrive Sunday night into Monday. We actually have a weather impact alert in effect for Sunday night into Monday. And this is why, as we time things out, we're quiet for Saturday. Maybe some isolated showers could pop up. We're still hot and muggy. We have temperatures in the low 90s. But we're going to be mainly clear across the board here. We do have a little bit of thunderstorm activity that will possibly move into the northeastern parts of the viewing area as we go into Sunday morning. And as that continues to move into central Texas, it starts to, or central East Texas, I should say, it starts to weaken a little bit, starts to fall apart. And then we're down into, or we're up into the lower 90s for Sunday afternoon. Sunday evening, this is 10 p.m. Sunday evening, that's when it starts knocking on our door, this large area of thunderstorms that could potentially produce some gusty winds and mainly the threat of flooding as well. Rainfall is definitely going to be an issue. By midnight, it should be in our central parts of the viewing area, but around 3 a.m. or so, it should be out of the picture. And we're starting off Monday much cooler. Temperatures in the upper 60s. Maybe some lower 70s off to our south. And we start out a lot cooler thanks to some rain-cooled air in the morning. And then we go into Monday afternoon, we're in the low 80s. So we're going to continue to track that as we continue to get new data. And once again, a weather impact alert does go in effect from Sunday evening into Monday morning. There is some data that does suggest that it could weaken, but as far as we know right now, this is going to be the case, right, Brett?
Yeah, and we were hoping for weakening. I think we need some rainfall. Wanted to see what all of the rain. One of the pieces of data absolutely had no rain here at all.
Right.
That would be quite the bust on the forecast in terms of the Storm Prediction Center outlooks for slight risks and for what we've been talking about so far. So
certainly, yeah.
We are live on our CBS19 Plus streaming channel, also on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. I am monitoring Facebook for any questions that you guys might have. If you have a question for Joel about who he roots for in college football, I was surprised to find out he was a Longhorn fan, but...
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. That doesn't add up.
Right? So anyway, out of this large complex of thunderstorms that potentially comes through Sunday, and one of the reasons if it didn't rain at all, I mean, look at the bust potential here with the rainfall over the next 7 days. I mean, we're forecasting, what, 5 to 7 inches of rainfall.
Yeah, and that's mainly, Brett, mainly out of that large complex of thunderstorms, and most of the rain is going to be off to the northern parts of the viewing area, just along I-30. So if this does not end up happening, we're going to be way off on our rainfall amounts, but definitely some areas of heavy rainfall potentially off to our northern parts of the viewing area.
Yeah, so a lot of rain, and that would again be Sunday night, Monday morning. So if you are out driving overnight, Sunday into Monday, you're certainly going to want to use a little extra time, make sure that those windshield wipers are working. And with our weather impact alert, we always say have the CBS19 app ready to go, downloaded, and then if there are any watches, warnings issued, you can stay up to date on those. All right, so we've been monitoring some Saharan dust here over the last, say, week or so, and it was due to move in here. I just looked outside and didn't really think I saw much of a dusty sunset. I think
yeah, not really. I saw a lot of haze out there, but I don't think that was dust.
I don't think so. I mean, it seems like maybe it's more tied. There could be tied to some agricultural fires in Mexico. I don't think we're getting into the fires from Canada. I think that's a little farther to the east.
I think that might be a little bit, too far north,
So anyway, here's the Saharan dust forecast from tonight. We'll run this through the weekend, and you'll notice that it looks like it tries to make it a little bit thicker. So maybe over the weekend we have a dusty sunset. Then, of course, the rain would wash all that dust out of the air.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah. And then by next week, I mean, it clears up and things are looking pretty good. All right, so tropical trends here. Let's get into these. And you'll notice there here as we look at this that we are just starting hurricane season, Joel.
Yes, we are. So hurricane season begins around June 1st. Peak of the season should be September 10th. That's when the most is going to be there. And then by November 30th, we're all done.
Yeah, usually, hopefully, right?
Yeah, right.
You finish there. Now, we talked about the El Nino Southern Oscillation, or ENSO. Last year, we were in El Nino, and so we had a very, we were supposed to have a very active hurricane season. It took a while to get going, but it eventually did. So this year, what you're looking at, these are Pacific Ocean water temperatures. Of course, the orange areas are going to be warmer than average temperatures, and the blue areas are going to be cooler than average temperatures. Last year, there was a solid large area of cooler than average temperatures out here. But if you look at it now, there's not, it's tough to pick out anything.
Right. We're now transitioning into ENSO neutral, so El Nino Southern Oscillation neutral. So it's basically a lesser version of the La Nina.
Right, and when we have neutral oscillations here in East Texas, we tend to have more thunderstorm activity. We can have more variability when it comes to the weather, and I think we've seen that so far this spring, where we had a couple of hot days, we had a dry stretch, and now we're getting back into this sort of rainier period, which eventually I think will lead again, and if all indications are correct, the way the modeling data would suggest, it's going to get really hot here in the middle part of June.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so with the neutral ENSO, right now, so the average is 14 named storms every year, 7 hurricanes and 3 major hurricanes. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, their outlook back in May had us anywhere from slightly below to well above, up to 19 named storms, and hurricanes could be just slightly below to above average, and then major hurricanes right there at about 3 to 5. And we've sort of seen an uptick in major hurricanes here recently, Joel, with the last couple of years. So I think Beryl was a Category 5 storm, so it's been really, really active.
Yeah, it produced several tornadoes in our viewing area as well.
All right, so what we're looking at here now is just tropical storm energy. So this would be the potential energy and what tropical systems would need to feed on. Of course, they're going to need heat. They're going to need abundant moisture in the atmosphere. And so if you look down here towards Central America, there is abundant moisture, all of that yellow. Would not like to see this over land, but we do have a chance Sunday night to have similar energy that could help to fuel some of these thunderstorms. Anyway, going forward over Sunday into Monday and early next week, we keep an eye on this area here for possible development. Some of the models have tried to hint at it, but so far, not anything that we can really lock on. So I think we're going to go through the next, say, 7 to 10 days just monitoring this area in the Western Caribbean and the Southern Gulf. There is some very warm water here. The water depth here is going down to about 160 feet, where it is 80 degrees plus. And so that's another area with all of that energy where something was going to spark up. It could do it there. We often call this area the Central American Gyre. And so it's a big area of low pressure, and sometimes it can spawn up this time of the year. It can spawn up a tropical system. But certainly enough energy there, certainly enough warm water. But the shear, what does shear do to hurricanes?
Shear is not good for hurricanes. It's good for the people, but not good for hurricanes. It actually helps them weaken.
Yeah, it tears the top off of them.
Correct.
They can't get vertically built, and so it just kind of tears the top of them. And you can see in that same area that we just showed you, there was a ton of energy, and then all of that warm water in that dark blue area, that's going to be moderate to almost high shear. So as I put this into motion over the next 7 days, you'll see that same shear just keeps firing up over that same area. So even though we have the necessary ingredients, we have too much shear for any organized system to get going. Maybe a few thunderstorms, clusters of thunderstorms. We often see that this time of the year.
Right.
So that'll probably continue. Something else that tropical systems need, they want some moisture at about 10,000 feet. And you'll notice that there is absolutely none. There are a couple of spins out in the Pacific. This was something we were looking at earlier, just behind Joel on that one side there. Or my side. So my side, sorry.
Oh,
I have to turn around.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there it is. So this could become Barbara. And you'll notice that there is a little bit of a spin in the atmosphere southwest of Mexico, going out toward the Pacific. So there is a chance, and then there's almost two systems doing what we call a Fujiwara effect, spinning around each other, trying to combine into one larger system. So we may have a couple of more named storms in the Pacific Ocean over the next, say, 7 to 10 days, but Atlantic still looks pretty quiet. Wave heights, if you're sailing out of Galveston, down toward the Yucatan Peninsula, Costa Maya, Cozumel, that looks pretty good. I think you're not gonna worry about seasickness on waves like that. They're running at about 3 to 6 feet. I think that's about it. So that's good news.
Not too bad.
Yeah, right. And it doesn't look like it gets much worse over, say, the next week to 10 days. Wave heights kind of even calm down a little bit. So some pretty calm seas all the way. If you were taking, say, you were leaving from Galveston on a longer 7-day trip and you were headed over toward the Florida Keys, that is really looking good too. So, all right, so here we go with the beach ball ratings. Joel, what I do here is I look at the forecast for these destinations and then we assign a beach ball rating, and it's going to be out of 4. So highest would be 4 out of 4 beach balls, the worst would be 1 out of 4 beach balls. So heading to Galveston this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you've got, yes, some breezy south winds, temperatures in the upper 80s. I don't think it's enough wind to ruin the day. It's a great kite flying weather, so we'll go 4 out of 4 beach balls there. Port Aransas, pretty similar, highs in the upper 80s. Those breezy south winds at about 17 miles an hour. We'll go with 4 out of 4 beach ball rating for Port Aransas. Gulf Shores, if you are there through the weekend and into next week, now you have some scattered thunderstorms. So we'll deduct 1 beach ball and call it a 3 out of 4 beach ball rating for Gulf Shores, Alabama. South Padre Island, the tropical tip of Texas. Partly cloudy, very windy. I took a beach ball away just because of the amount of wind. And we were talking about sustained winds, 20 to 25 miles an hour, higher gusts, and temperatures in the upper 80s. So windy, almost windy to the point where it's blowing sand around and it hurts and you feel like you've gotten sandblasted just standing on the beach. So we'll deduct a beach ball just for the winds. Destin, morning showers, partly cloudy on Sunday, and then Monday, scattered thunderstorms. I took at least a beach ball away, could take another one. Destin, certainly, if you're headed there, you've got some showers to deal with Saturday and again on Monday. And Gulfport, just a little bit farther west from Destin, Gulfport, Mississippi, looking pretty good, scattered thunderstorms and temperatures in the upper 80s. All right, extended outlook here through the Gulf of Mexico and the Western Caribbean, and we see clusters of showers and thunderstorms bubbling up through the 10th, through the 11th, through the 12th, and all the way through the middle part of June. And then eventually, if you look up here over the United States, after maybe some thunderstorms around the 14th, things start to really dry out, 15th, 16th, and that is when the dreaded heat dome builds in, Joel.
That's right.
It could get very hot here.
Oh yeah, we go below average this week, and then following that, goes right back up.
It just gets really hot. Of course, that's what happens here in East Texas. Thank you, everyone, for watching Brett's Beach Ball Forecast. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony.
And I'm Meteorologist Joel Robinson.
Have a great weekend, everyone.